I am all for living your very best life, right? And taking time for yourself, taking time for family, doing all the events and things like that. What we don't want to happen is to look up and then you have a dry season come September, October, November, December, and you're like, what happened? Oh, that's right. I was kicking it all summer and I forgot to actually generate for my business. So we are going to talk about what we can be doing to lead generate specifically in the summer. Hey friends, I'm Rosemary Lewis, your homegirl, and I'm so excited that you are here. I do not care what it looks like on Instagram or HGTV. This whole being a realtor thing is not for the faint at heart. In 2017, I quit my job as a teacher to follow my real estate dreams and quickly found myself overwhelmed and struggling. Fast forward to today. Not only have I been recognized as one of the leaders in our industry, I have actually grown a business that I absolutely love. I don't care if you're a brand new agent trying to figure out how to get started or a veteran feeling overwhelmed and just stuck. I was just like you and I totally get it. Many times I wish there was someone that I could just talk to about all the challenges I was facing. And that is why I created this space just for you. Like best friends do, I'm giving you all the tea related to navigating and thriving in these real estate streets. If I can do it, guess what? That's proof that you can too. Everything's better with friends, so let's succeed together. Welcome to the Real Estate Bestie Podcast. Well, hello there, bestie. Welcome to episode number, let me get it right, 164. And as always, it is my absolute pleasure to be here and just spending some time with my good old real estate besties. So look, let me tell you something. I have a business coach because guess what? The coach needs a coach too. And, we are just doing a lot of visioning. She's helping me clarify some of my goals in real estate with the Real Estate Bestie platform. And she had me do this exercise where I wrote down just the different things that okay, if money wasn't a thing, right? If I didn't have to generate income, which of course we generate income, but if I didn't have to generate income, what would I just do because I absolutely love to do it? And hands down, podcasting, coaching, speaking, all of the things that put me close to you, bestie, were at the tip top of my list. So when I say, baby, that I am happy to be here with you, I am so happy to be here with you and here on the podcast. So speaking of which, before we get into it, let me just say, y'all are understanding the assignment because I have been low-key begging, and I don't know why I'm begging, because if we're real friends, you do not have to beg your friends to do stuff. They just show up for you. But anywho, I have been encouraging, maybe that's the word we want to use, the besties to hop on and give us a review, because when you review the podcast, whether it's on YouTube or any podcast platform, what that does is y'all know these algorithms be extra tricky, and the more that you leave reviews and all that good stuff, it pushes us out. And when it pushes us out, there are besties every single day that are finding the Real Estate Bestie podcast. And can you imagine who is thinking about throwing in a towel, but then when they listen to episode number 68, when I'm on here crying, or when they listen to Ways to Lead Generating the Summer, which we're going to talk about today, or they just listen to, the fact that God has called and purposed them to this career, they decide to keep going. And that happens when you share a review. So speaking of which, I want to give a shout out to Yanelle J, who understood the assignment. Not only did she give us 5 stars, but she said this: love this podcast. Rosemary is very personable, and each episode inspires me to step out of my comfort zone and into real estate. I am a few weeks away from being a licensed real estate agent, and Rosemary has definitely become my real estate role model and, of course, bestie. I love seeing people of color thriving and reaching back to help others thrive too. Needless to say, this podcast is educational and I love it. I love you. So besties, I want y'all to send send like positive vibes, send a prayer up for Yanelle as she prepares to take her real estate exam. And she is so right. This is what the whole podcast is about. It's about reaching back. It's about showing each other what is possible. It's about helping grow in business, grow in life, but more importantly, grow in your relationship with Jesus. And I'm just so grateful to be here, and I'm grateful for you. So if you haven't left a review yet, okay, remember, real friends, like a real friend, we ain't got to keep going back and forth about this. You just gonna hit pause. I promise you that I will be here when you get back. Go ahead and hit pause, give the 5-star review, write a few little sentences. Nobody asked you to be Shakespeare, but write a little something, and again, it pushes us out. Okay, now that we have gotten all of the pleasantries out of the way, listen. I am looking at the calendar, and as of the release of this podcast, friend, we are like a couple. How is the 4th of July almost here, right? Summer is coming, and I don't know, or not coming, it's here. I feel like it's going. Maybe that's what I was trying to say. Summer is rolling, like time waits for no one. And we are going to talk about, just different ways that you can be lead generating in the summer, because for many of us, summers, they are a gift, but they also can be a little bit tricky because your schedule is a little bit different. The kids are off of school. So there are definitely like different things where we can thrive, but if we're not careful, it can become really, really tricky during the summer. Now, I did an episode a few episodes back. I'm looking for it because I was telling you just, for all of my moms, it was episode number 150. Go to rosemarylewis.com/150. If you are a realtor and a mom, I just gave you some tips, right, on just how to keep going during summer, like if that is your season. Even if you're not a mom, you should listen to that. But today we are going to specifically talk about a couple of different ideas on how to lead generate or generate leads during the summer, because I don't know about y'all, right? But when it's summer, and I live in Dallas, and you know what? It's 100+ degrees outside every day, but your girl is outside. Okay. We are outside. We are still, getting our repercussions back from the year of 2020 and the year 2021 when we were cooped up in the house. So I am accepting the invitations. I am throwing the parties. I am, going on the trips, on the vacations, and we are in these here streets. Okay. But here's the challenge, right? We don't want to be hanging out so much that we forget that, we have to continue to generate leads for our business, because what we don't want to happen, which I am all for, like, living your very best life, right? And taking time for yourself, taking time for family, doing all the events and things like that. But what you don't want is to look up, y'all know we work in the rear. So what that means is that if you have a closing, so this is the end of June, like literally, hey, how about, let me speak my own truth. It is the end of June. I have a closing on the last Friday of June, but guess when I actually generated that client? Like it was 6 months ago, right? It was 6 months ago that I actually generated that client. This listing was on the market for some time, and now 6 months later, we are actually closing on this house. What I don't want to happen to you is that you forget the whole lead generation. You forget to run your business because maybe you got a few dollars in the bank right now. You're not pressed. And even if you are not pressed, what we don't want to happen is to look up and then you have a dry season come September, October, November, December, and you're like, what happened? Oh, that's right. I was kicking it all summer and I forgot to actually generate for my business. So we are going to talk about what we can be doing to lead generate specifically in the summer. So buckle up, besties. Let's go. Okay. So very first thing is that summer is such a great time. Like we've already established that we are outside, but listen, not just outside to hang out, but how about if you have not ever hosted an open house, or if it's been a while since you've hosted open houses, I'm going to tell you summer is a great time to do it, because this legitly is the time of year where like people, like literally I am in my office looking out the window and I'm doing this podcast, but I'm itching. Like, y'all know I love being here with you, but when I'm done with you, I'm going to go outside. I might go get a Starbucks. Like, you just want to kind of be outside when the weather is nice, when the sun is shining. So open houses are a great time to be out there marketing your business. And you have people that are like, yeah, let's just go for a drive. Like me and my husband, we are like lightly, like we're probably 2-year away buyers right now, but we are starting to stop by open houses, right? Because it's nice outside and it's something to do, and we can have a conversation with the agent that's there. And if I was not an agent, I would be a perfect example of somebody who is kind of sort of a little bit thinking about it. I decided to stop by an open house because it's such a pretty day, and it would be a great opportunity for an agent to establish some rapport and get me in their ecosystem so that when I am ready to buy, they're ready to go. Okay. And then here's something else, right? You have some people who, like, let's just say they're not quite committed to an agent. So they have a friend who sells real estate. They're kind of sort of thinking about buying or selling, but they're stopping by these open houses because guess what? That friend is on vacation. And I'm not telling you to steal nobody's client, but if they ain't signed a representation agreement, then it's fair game, right? So you very well can be in an open house or be hosting open houses and get some people that are a little bit quicker ready to go, because the person that they may have called before is just busy because it's summer and they outside and you in here working your business. So open houses to me are a great way to lead generate in any forum, especially during or any time of year, not forum, in any time of year. But I definitely like them during the summer months. And I would encourage you to do them. Okay. And you can do some themed open houses, like if you are, let's say you are hosting an open house at a house with a pool, can you add some tropical decor, right? And just really highlight how you could be outside and the summer night swims. Like, can you tell the story of the house through how you are marketing it, and like market, right? And everybody, like even your friends, are like, girl, every time I see you, you're doing an open house on a Saturday or Sunday, and pick one. Like, I don't want you to not enjoy your summer, but pick one of the days during the week, Saturday or Sunday, you are going to commit to hosting these open houses, getting in front of people, and trust me, it's going to be a great lead generator. Okay. Now let's talk about some like low-key events, right? Some low-key things that you can do to help generate some leads. So can you create, or can you do like a girls' night out type situation? Now, let me give you, I'm about to give you the whole tea. I normally reserve things like this for my coaching students and Bestie Accelerator coaching. Look, if you want to get on the wait list, we're going to open it up for just a few slots in the fall. So go to rosemarylewis.com/accelerate and you can get on the wait list. But this is one of the things that I'm doing this summer, right? So just in a couple of days, by the time I actually release this podcast, you probably would have seen it on my social media. I am doing a girls' night out in my neighborhood. So do it once a year. Me and a neighbor, we literally, like, imagine like a baby shower or a little party for no reason. We have literally no reason to have this except I want to connect and I want to get to know my neighbors, because for a lot of my neighbors, my neighborhood has grown so much. I've been living there we were one of the newest houses in the community, and now we're in like phase 5. So I am very active like in the Facebook group and things like that. But the reality is it's probably 1,000 people in my neighborhood. I don't know them all. So we host this annual girls' night to truly connect with the neighbors, but also what I find is this little girls' night out, what it does is they're like, oh, Rosemary, okay, now I'm putting a face with the name. And like, I'm pointing to them, I'm letting them know where I live. I'm reminding them it's not a real estate event that they're coming to, but you better believe that while they're there, I'm friending them on Facebook, I'm sending them messengers, I'm putting their phone numbers in my phone, and I am reminding them that I am the neighborhood go-to real estate agent. I am their brand new real estate bestie. So can you do something like that? Can you create a girls' night out? Okay, full disclosure. The lady that I'm doing it with is my friend Deb. Deb is like Pinterest on like tilt. So like ours is going to be a little bit over the top, but we really started off with calling it muffins and mimosas, where we have muffins and mimosas, but Deb ups it up every year. But it's fun, right? I used to do something similar with like everybody. You can make it like a potluck style. The thing is, can you be the one to have a place and invite people to gather? And by having them gather, now you are increasing your database, okay? And even besties, like I know that there are some of you who are listening to this, and maybe you're not in a community or you don't have a home quite yet. Can you do something like this even in your apartment complex, right? Where you are introducing yourself, and now you can follow up and do like a first time home buyer seminar with the people that you have met. And this is the mindset that I want y'all to have, because I think a lot of times when we say leads, we automatically feel like, oh, it has to be somebody who's ready to buy or sell tomorrow. When the reality is that I just want to expand my reach and my territory, and I want to build relationships. So something like a girls' night out, where you are creating a space where everybody can come together, chill, get to know each other, that a million percent is going to be a way that you can generate some leads. Okay. All right. Now, speaking of that, let's keep with the whole neighborhood, like getting to know the people where you live, that whole kind of theme, because nothing irritates me more, friends, than seeing a for sale sign in my neighborhood that does not belong to me. But let me tell you what irritates me more than just seeing one is seeing one. Like, it's one thing if I see a for sale sign and I know I have a relationship with the person, because 9 times out of 10, they have kind of like prepped me. Like, I'm like, at least I did everything I could do, right? I did everything I could do to get to know them. And then if they chose to work with somebody else, I'm just going to respect the fact that it wasn't my time, right? But what really annoys me is when I see a for sale sign and it's like, oh, I don't even know their name. Right? Like, to me, that's the missed opportunity. Like, if I don't even know them, then that falls on me. Them knowing me and knowing what I do, and I'm like, they're in my database, and them choosing somebody else, then that means that for whatever reason, we weren't a good fit. But if I haven't even made the effort or the connection, that's what falls on me. And these little activities like give you some time to connect with your neighbors. So how about you do like popsicles at the park? Okay, go with me here. Can you hit up Sam's Club? Okay, Sam's Club got these like icy freeze pops. And if you do this, you better tag me on social media and show me. But can you hit up the Sam's Club? Can you hit up Costco? Can you even go to the grocery store? Can you get some popsicles? And can you invite friends to go to the park? It could be friends in the neighborhood. Use your kids. Like, how many of y'all kids, those parents have texted y'all for play dates? Like, nobody kicking anything off. Can you say, you know what? These popsicles were on sale. The kids haven't seen each other since the beginning of school or the end of the school year. Let's all meet up at the park on Friday at such and such time, and let's do popsicles in the park. What that's going to allow you to do is now you are there and you're going to be able to have conversations with the parents. You're going to be able to build that rapport. And guess what? You are generating new relationships and new people for your database, okay? By actually being a pretty solid person. Look at how that works out, right? So that is a great way to generate new leads, okay? Now, let's talk about this one. I know I'm getting excited, but you know what? I should be excited because we're talking about generating leads in the summer. But go with me here. How often are you invited to an event and you go to said event? Let's just say you go with one of your friends, you go with your husband or your homegirl or your boo or your whoever, and you get to the event and they're all different type of people there, but you gravitate to one corner of the room with the people you came with or the people you know. Okay. And I am not telling you to ignore the people that you know, but what I am going to suggest is that this summer you make a declaration to yourself. You make a commitment that I am going to work the room. Okay. And I am going to work the room, and I am not leaving this here party until I make X number of connections. Now, for those of you who are wildflowers, like you are cringing with me just even saying it, maybe you just say, hey, I'm gonna leave here with one new Facebook friend, right? Is there a commonality? Like, how can I connect with people? And again, in something like coaching, I give you like the exact words to say to make genuine, authentic connections, but it's going to be your goal, right? To get into these rooms and make a quick connection with somebody. And from that quick connection, now how am I gonna get their information? Okay. So you gotta get somebody's information. Maybe for some of you it's one. Maybe you're thinking, maybe I can do 3. when you are going to these things, I'm just going to encourage you to have a system where you're not all cheesy, like, hey, next time you want to think about buying or selling, call me. No, engage somebody who you don't know in new conversation, or somebody like, y'all know we go to places and like, we like, I know her from somewhere. Where I know her from? Don't just think that in your head. Go up to her and be like, first of all, your dress is bomb. You look so familiar. And I'm trying to figure out where I know you from. Getting into the habit of doing that and working the room is a great way to generate leads over the summer. So do that. Okay. Now here's the next one. I will probably say this one, and you will probably hear this from me until I am blue in the face, because it's such a simple one. But for some reason, in the year of 2024 of our Lord, we do not want to do it. But pick up the phone, okay? And the beautiful thing, when I say pick up the phone for your SOI, your sphere of influence, pick up the phone for the people you know, and actually start talking to people. Because folks, again, a lot of times our schedules are a little bit more laxed in the summer. So like, who is it that you have been thinking about that you haven't had an opportunity to talk to them? You just want to check in with them. Listen, go ahead and pick up the phone. Summer is a great time. Block an hour a day in your schedule where you are literally working your contact list. Go to Facebook real quick, see what they've been up to. Did they go? Like, are they vacationing in Croatia, or are they getting hot dogs in Crenshaw? I don't know. But find something, a commonality that you can talk to people and catch up with. And summer is a great time just to touch bases and see how people are doing. And guess what? It's kind of a nice human thing to do anyway. It's kind of like more and more. I've said this before. We are in the society that is so connected, yet we are so very disconnected. And picking up the phone and actually having real life conversations with folks, it's a game changer. True story. I have a friend who lives in North Carolina, and she's helping me out. So I'm going to give y'all this quick plug. And I really need y'all to email me at support@rosemarylewis.com and tell me, if we do this, will y'all come out? We are looking to come to North Carolina. I've never been there, but when I look at like who listens to the podcast, we have a lot of people in like that area or places that they can get there quickly, like from Atlanta and stuff. So me and my team, we're thinking like, let's go to North Carolina and do a one-day mastermind in person, teach the besties some good stuff, hang out, touch them, hug them, all that stuff. So if y'all want us to come to NC, like, let us know. I don't even know if y'all call it NC, but I'm gonna keep it. It sounded real cool, didn't it? So anywho, this is a person that not only do I talk to her like often on social, but like she's in my coaching group. So I am like inside of my coaching group, they have access to me through this app where we kind of like walkie-talkie each other. It's called Voxer. But I picked up the phone and I called her today. And by picking up the phone and calling her, we got to talking about all type of stuff, right? Where I saw her and she saw me. And I'm so grateful that we actually picked up the phone. And she hung up. Like, to this day, anytime somebody tells me that they are moving to the Dallas area, I let them know, like, girl, Rosemary has evolved from being my friend to my realtor to, you know, I used to disciple her and now I'm her coach. But picking up the phone would have robbed, or not picking up the phone may have robbed us of that extra connection. So y'all, start picking up the phone to your people and you will be so surprised on how that will be a lead generator. Okay. And then here is the last one I'm going to say, and we are actually going to talk about this more in detail on the next podcast. So make sure you come back, get on the social media. Okay. Get on the social media. Now, have some limits, because listen, I have recently come to the realization that these phones are the devil. They are addictive. Like, I am putting boundaries in my life on how often like I am on my phone. I'm strongly considering getting a house phone. I will tell you all about that later. But I do have times where I am committed to showing up on social media with specific value for lead generation. And I'm going to tell you all next week exactly what my results were in a week's time, and it is mind blowing. So I want y'all to come back so that we can talk about it. So for those of you who are still scared, you're scared to show up on social media, you're scared to get on video, you're worried about what your cousin Calvin go say, and he ain't never ever moved out of his auntie house because you posting about your little real estate business. I'm going to encourage you to get outside of your own way. Start highlighting these homes, start highlighting what you know about industry, start highlighting these areas because you're selling a lifestyle. If you're at a festival, a music festival, get online and talk about how close, like how the people that live in this neighborhood, they get to experience things like this all the time. That is a great way to generate conversation and to generate leads into your database. Okay. Now, I didn't quite write these down, so let's see what I said. I said open houses is where you're going to generate leads. Having something like a girls' night out. Remember, we talked about that. Something like popsicles at the park, things where you can engage your neighbors and your friends. Use these little kids, these mamas and daddies. Get to meet them at the park. You are going to work every single room that you're in. Do not go to that party and stand in that one corner with your one friend you came with, okay? Get to know people. We are going to pick up the phone, connect with people in real time. And then the final one, I think I said was social media. Okay. That sound about right to you? Sounds about right to me. Okay. All right. So I hope this was helpful, besties. And listen, if you have not already snagged it, you know that we have a free ebook. If you're looking to make your first 6 figures in real estate, or maybe you're like, girl, I'm already at 6 figures. These habits are going to show you how to double and even triple that number. So head on over to rosemarylewis.com/6. Okay. And you're going to get my free ebook, 6 Habits to 6 Figures. Make sure you get it. Make sure you have that, give that link to your real life real estate bestie so that she can get to 6 figures and multiple 6 figures too, because I don't know about y'all, but outside is expensive. So you kind of need, you need some closings on the books in order to truly enjoy the outside. As always, I love you so much. I'm always so grateful that you are here, and I'll talk to you next week. Bye, bestie. If you enjoyed this episode and you have a real life bestie that you think it would resonate with, y'all, do me a favor. Go ahead and hit that share button, because you know what? We are better together. Make sure you share the podcast, and I appreciate your reviews. I appreciate you giving me 5 stars more than you know. I'll talk to you next week.